Okay, in this tutorial we're going to put the platform on top of the sliders, and there's a very specific way we have to do this. You can't just do a traditional assembly. So we're in our assembly, we've got the base on here, we've got the sliders on here. We're going to go ahead and click assemble and find the platform part that we made. Click open, you can see it comes in here, and we've got the holes that are going to go on top of the pegs. Now one thing is there's a lot of information on this screen. You could turn off your displays here, the axis and the planes, and just look a little bit cleaner and be easier to put together. So we are actually going to force it into the type of connection we want. We're not going to just do an automatic, which will do a lot of coincident constraints. We're going to actually come over here and force it into a pin connection. And the reason we're going to do this is because the ultimate goal is to have a ride here that moves, so we're going to create a mechanism. And to have a mechanism or like a motor on here, you have to have a pin connection. You can't have a traditional constraint. So once you go to your pin connection, basically what it's looking for, if you click on placement, is it wants to know what the axis alignment is, or how the pin is going to connect to the hole. Well, so we're going to zoom in here and find this hole and click it. And then we're going to come over to our slider ride and click the pin itself. And you can see that it's kind of buried inside of the actual ride. And now it's asking for, and you're not going to see this unless you're clicked on placement, but it's asking for the translation, meaning what two surfaces are going to touch. Well, we want the underside of this platform to actually touch the top of the slider. Now your slider may be a different height than your actual base itself, so you've got to pick the surface that's going to work best for how you made it. So I'm going to pick the top of my slider, and you can see that that's in there like that. Okay, and then we're going to click, because we only have one hole addressed here, we've got to address the other one too. Now we're going to click new set, and we're going to change this to cylinder, and we're going to create a connection on this other one. So we're going to click the hole, and then we're going to zoom in and try to find this peg. Now it is kind of buried in there and hard to find, but you want to get that peg, and you can see that it's snapped together here. And I believe we've defined all the constraints necessary. I don't believe you need the translation constraint here. So we'll go ahead and try it out. We'll accept this, and you can see now the glass material that we have. And then let's go ahead and click on drag components. Click on the top of this and see if it actually moves. And yeah, you can see it's moving, and the sliders are moving, and it's doing what we want. Now the pegs are going farther out than we originally planned. Now that would be something that we're going to have to address, because when we measure them, we had them to their outermost point, but now you can see that when one is all the way out here and the other's in basically the middle point. So essentially we're going to have to shorten the distance between these holes in here by, it looks like, maybe almost the whole slider, which was like 20. So we're actually going to go back into the platform. You can leave this assembled, you don't have to take it apart. And here's the platform part. This is the beauty of this. This is called the associativity of the program, that we can actually right click on this platform and open up this part, make changes in here, and it will update. It should, in theory, update in our assembly. So we're going to go ahead and think about, okay, what did I want to change? Well, I want to change the distance between these holes, and that was Extrude 2. So, or actually it was an Extrude 1. My mistake. So we're going to go into click the arrow, find the original 2D drawing, and edit definition, and go to sketch view. And no, I was right the first time. It is an Extrude 2. Okay, so let's go back here. There we go. Alright, so here's the distance, and we're going to go ahead and shorten this by, and I think the peg was 20, so let's make this 34, and let's see what this looks like. So half of 34 would be 15 plus 2, or 17, and there we go. So let's save this now and close out. And when you come back into here, it's the same, but go ahead and come up to the very top. There's a button called regenerate, and it should make that change for you. Then it's going to update. Because you saved that part, you made a change to it, it's going to change your drawing in the assembly. So now let's drag it and we'll see what it looks like. So it's going to move around here, and you can see that those sliders stay contained within our base now. There you go. Okay. Now, I mean, you can just be really creative. So you can say, okay, I'm going to make another part now that will spin around this. And you can develop that part. You can add it in to the assembly. Make sure it's a pin connection, not a normal coincident connection. And then later we're going to get into a tutorial on mechanizing this pin connection. And you can build a part on there and then multiple parts on there, and you can develop all kinds of different things with this. So check out the next tutorial.